Once upon a time, 3 friends came to my house. "We want to travel to Africa. Do you want to come with us?" they asked. "Sure, I'd love to go with you," I said. We started getting ready for the adventure. Soon, we were all set. I said goodbye to my wife. "All right, let's go," I said. We plan to come back in 2 months. We left for Brazil in September. Our ship was very big, but there were only 17 of us. The ship was packed with business supplies. At first, the weather was nice, but very warm. After a week, a hurricane hit. It was very powerful, and our ship was in serious trouble. After 3 long days, the hurricane ended, but the ship needed repairs. We couldn't go to Africa. The captain wanted to go back to fix the ship. I didn't want to return. We talked about what to do. Later in the evening, another hurricane arrived. The wind was strong, and the waves were big. Then a man shouted, "Land!" When he yelled, "Land!" the ship stopped. The water wasn't deep enough. Our ship was in bad shape and could break at any moment. We decided to use a smaller boat. It was risky because the boat was too small for 17 people, but we had to try to survive. The waves were huge, and the wind was very strong. The wind pushed us toward the big rocks. We were about to crash. A massive wave hit, and our boat flipped over. I went underwater and struggled to breathe. I couldn't see the other men or the boat. I managed to get my head above water for a moment. I could still breathe, and I saw a tiny beach among the rocks. A big wave pushed me toward the shore. I was still in the water, but I felt land beneath me. I knew I had to get out of the water, but I was weak. The next wave pulled me back into the sea. I struggled to breathe again, but another wave pushed me back to the shore. I was in the water, but could not stand up. I walked onto the sand. I felt safe, but my arms and legs were very weak. I felt exhausted and lay down on the beach. After a while, I got up and looked for the other men. I couldn't find them. I was the only survivor. All my friends were gone. I found 3 hats and 2 shoes on the beach. I felt very sad. The weather is still very bad, but the waves are not so big. I see the ship. The ship is far from the land. I look around. I see that I have nothing. I am wet. I have no other clothes. I have nothing to eat or drink. I have no gun. Dangerous animals can eat me. I only have a small knife, which I keep in my pocket. This situation is really bad. How can I survive with only a small knife? I need to drink some fresh water. I found a small river. I drank the water. The night is here. I am scared of dangerous animals. I can't sleep on the ground. So, I spent the night under a big tree. When I wake up the next morning, the sea is calm. I still see the ship. I swim to the ship. I don't see a way inside the big ship. I swam around the ship twice. Then, on one side of the ship, I saw a rope. I used the rope. Now, I am on the ship. The ship is empty. I try to find some food. I am lucky. Some food on the ship is dry. I also found a bottle of rum. I take the bottle with me. Then I heard something. Someone is aboard the ship. Who is it? Somebody from my friends? It is not possible. My friends are all dead. I am scared. I go to the place where the noises are heard. Then I see who it is. It is a dog. It belongs to our captain. Now, I have a friend. I am not alone. I must bring food, rum, and a dog to the beach. However, I don't have a small boat on board. I must make a raft. I found some wood. I make a raft out of wood. I also need some clothes. I look for the clothes. When I looked for clothes, I found a nice carpet. I also find 4 guns and a box with gunpowder. I put everything on my raft. The sea is calm. The wind goes to the land. This is all good. Soon I will be on the beach. I look for a place where I can stay. I see a hill. From the hill, I can see where I am. I take a gun. I walk to the hill. I go to the top. I can see the sea all around me. I am on an island. I see 2 small islands nearby. One is to the north. One is to the west. I can also see a large area of land to the south. The land is about 100 kilometers away. To the east, I can see nothing. I see only the ocean. I don't see people on the island. I see only wild animals. On my way back from the hill, I saw lots of birds. I wasn't aware of their names or whether I could eat them. I caught one bird, but its meat didn't taste good. So, I went back to my raft. Tomorrow, I plan to go back to the ship to bring all the important items to the island. Watch out. A storm is coming that could destroy the ship. I set up a tiny tent by the beach. Inside the tent, I put my things that could get wet from the rain. It's getting dark. I'm lying on the ground. I place 2 guns on my left shoulder and 2 on my right shoulder. Now I feel safe. I feel exhausted, and I'm going to sleep soon. The next day, I swim back to the ship. I made another raft. I'm excited to find 7 new guns and some beds. I bring all these items to the beach. I visit the ship every day and find lots of great things. For example, I discovered a large supply of candles. Now I've got candles for the island. I also found 2 big boxes of tea. One day, I found a closed box with a key under it. Inside, I find money from Europe and Brazil. Money isn't useful on the island, but I take it anyway. I also find cards with pictures of kings and queens. I can play games with cards. The next day, I saw big dark clouds in the sky. They keep getting bigger. The wind gets stronger. I head towards the ship, but I decide not to construct a raft due to the increasing strength of the wind. Rafts are fragile in storms. I swim back to the beach. Wow, the wind is strong at night, but I feel safe in my small tent. The next morning, the ship had departed. I know my time on the island is limited. I want to create a nice, safe home. I can search for a cave or build a larger tent. Maybe I can do both. I need a place close to fresh water. It should be shady and have a breeze. I also want a view of the sea, so I can see any ships. I found a lovely spot beside a tall hill. I put my tent there. I feel safe on the hill, which protects me from one side. Around the other sides, I built a fence. The fence does not have a door. When I need to get over the fence, I use a ladder. I bring all my belongings inside. I have many more ideas. I created 2 tents. The big tent is spacious. There is a smaller tent located inside the larger one. The big tent protects my gunpowder and food from the rain. I live in the smaller tent. After finishing the tents, I started digging a cave at the base of the hill. I want to use the cave to store food. I collect stones and dirt from the cave and put them near the fence. I constructed a terrace within the fence. One day, while working on the cave, a storm suddenly arrived. Wow, there's lightning during the storm. I worry that lightning could hit my gunpowder containers. If they explode, it could be extremely dangerous, even killing me. I feel really scared, and I know I need to do something. When the storm ends, I quickly unpack the gunpowder boxes. I divide the gunpowder into smaller boxes and bags. Since I have a lot of gunpowder, it takes 3 days to finish. I hide the smaller boxes and bags among the rocks. Every day I go hunting. It's a nice break from all the hard work, and I want some meat to eat. As I hunt, I get to know the island better. I find a group of goats and catch them. Now I have plenty of meat. Sometimes I feel sad. I think about my wife a lot and miss her. I also think about my Brazilian friends and my parents. Traveling by sea can change your life. Traveling is amazing, but it can also be hard. I am aware that my shipmates have departed, leaving me as the sole survivor. I feel lucky to have everything I need, like food, guns, and clothes. I can't live without these things. I decide to make a large cross and place it on the sandy shore. I write down the date of my first day on the island. I want to keep track of time. I use the cross on my calendar. I make a small mark on the cross every day. Every Sunday, I extend the mark to signify the conclusion of the week. At the end of each month, there's an extra long mark. One day, I will think about my situation. I have some not so happy thoughts, but I want to think more positively. I decide to write down both the good and bad things. First, I write the bad things. I'm all alone on this island. I don't have anyone to talk to. It's unlikely I'll ever visit England again, but I'm here, still alive. I feel safe and enjoy my independence. I have plenty of food. These are all positive things. I do not possess expensive clothing, but I do not require a substantial wardrobe on this island. I have a dog. He understands a few words. He listens when I tell him to sit, come here or stay. He's a good friend. I see that my situation isn't perfect, but there are many positive aspects in my life. I should focus on the good things. I'm constantly improving my space, making it better and better. I expanded the cave, and now I have plenty of room for all sorts of things. I'm happy because my life is now well organized. I would like to create some furniture. Can I please have a chair and a table? I use the wood from my rafts and the ship. I can complete their construction in a mere 5 days. After that, I created more furniture for the cave. I also store my clothing and guns in the cave. I feel a great sense of joy when I complete my tasks. The cave is quite cozy now. Everything is neatly arranged. I have no trouble finding what I need. I decided to write a book about my adventures on the island. I begin my first day here and write about my daily adventures. I really enjoy putting my thoughts on paper. When I begin, I write a page every single day. However, now I write just 1 page per week, focusing on significant matters. Since living on the island, I have established a well-structured routine. My life is always filled with excitement. I always have something to do. Every morning, I take a stroll around the island. After that, I get down to business. At noon, I have my midday meal. Afterwards, I rest for a short while. Then I proceed with my tasks. In the evening, I either relax or write in my book. I keep expanding my cave, making it larger and larger. I would love to have a spacious cave. The cave serves as my kitchen, living room, and sometimes even bedroom. One day, after completing the cave, a significant amount of earth collapsed from one side. Luckily, I wasn't in the cave at the time. If a large amount of soil were to fall on me, it could be very dangerous. To prevent another accident like this, I tidy up the cave and decide to add longboards on the sides and top. This project will take a week to complete. In December, I carry on with my tasks at my little camp. The weather is not very pleasant. It seems to rain every single day. However, it remains warm. I spend my time indoors. The island is always warm, which I really like. In late December, I slaughtered a goat. I accidentally injured another goat. She has a broken leg and is unable to walk. I bring the goat back home and assist her. After a couple of weeks, the goat has become friendly. She enjoys nibbling on my hand. In January, I embarked on a journey across the island. I discovered a higher concentration of goats in the central region of the island. The animals are quite timid, and getting close to them can be challenging. I'm interested in raising goats as pets. All I need is a great opportunity to pursue this. I've got a plan. The following day, I came back with my furry companion. I believe my dog can assist me in the art of hunting. I instruct my dog, please take a seat. Hold on. Stay still. Whenever the goats come between me and my dog, I quickly hide behind a nearby tree. Then I call out to my dog, come here. My dog comes running towards me, and even the goats join in on the fun. I wait patiently in my spot behind the tree. Whenever a goat comes near me, I leap and grab onto its leg. I grasp her right leg, but suddenly, the goat strikes me with her left leg. I get kicked in the nose. It's really painful. I struggle to keep hold of the goat, but it manages to escape my grasp. We haven't caught a goat yet. This method is not the best way to catch one. We need to find a better approach. I say to my dog, time to head back home. I could use some rest. I spent the first few months of the year working on my fence. I spend a lot of time on it because I want the fence to be really sturdy. During this time, I came across large birds on the island. Their homes are not in the trees, but rather in small crevices among the rocks. They are quite easy to catch. Their meat is absolutely delicious. I can even cook and eat their eggs. While working on my fence, I stumbled upon a small bag. I have fond memories of the corn in the bag. However, all I can see are a few leaves inside the bag. I grab the bag and head outside my camp. I emptied out the bag because I needed it for gunpowder. This happens before the rain arrives. After a month, I stumbled upon some vibrant green leaves in that very spot. This corn is fresh and tender. I am filled with joy. I live near where the corn grows. This is amazing. In the future, I'll be able to bake bread. There is an event taking place in March. I'm in my cave when chunks of earth start tumbling down from above. I'm really scared. I fear that my diligent efforts in the cave could be in vain. I sprint out of the cave. I notice the ground beginning to tremble. Oh no. There was an earthquake. I'm quite startled and frightened. A few large rocks tumble down from the hill. Fortunately, I am lucky. My tent remains untouched. The earthquake will be over soon. I don't feel like going inside the cave. I'm really scared. I plop down on the grass in front of my little tent. Maybe it's risky to sleep in the cave. Another earthquake would be extremely dangerous. I don't feel like sleeping in the tent either. So I thought it would be fun to build a house. I started constructing the house in April. We can build the house in 3 months, but I am absolutely thrilled with my brand new home. During the final week of July, I've been feeling sick and running a temperature. I'm stuck in bed. I feel completely powerless and incapable in my current condition. I have incredibly imaginative dreams. These dreams don't always make sense. However, they become real to me when I have them. I had this absolutely wild dream that I can't help but share. On the island where I live, I'm hanging out at a pub. I want a glass of rum, but the waitress is just sitting at the bar, doing nothing. She seems really lazy. I am experiencing frustration as a result of individuals' failure to make an effort, but I am making an effort to remain patient. Then my wife shows up at the pub. She hands me a piece of paper with some writing on it. It's a message from her dad saying I need to come home and work on the plantations. I really don't want to go home. I head into the pub's kitchen. Mom's in the kitchen, getting ready to cook some steaks and make some soup. I tried the soup, and it's absolutely delicious. Next, a pair of Englishmen arrive at the pub. They want to sell gunpowder. One of them seems like a refined gentleman, but the other one is absolutely dreadful. I say to the unpleasant man, "I'm sorry. I don't need your gunpowder. I have a lot of gunpowder in my camp." But the man insists, "You must buy our gunpowder. We are traveling from London, and we want to do business." I thanked him, saying, "No, thank you. I don't need your gunpowder." The man gets extremely upset. Our conversation is lacking. He makes some really mean comments about me, and I make some mean remarks about him. The conversation reaches a point where he wants to harm me. He grabs his firearm, and I begin to flee. He takes aim and fires in my direction. Then I wake up. After a week has passed, I feel much better. But I could really use some time to unwind. I really need to get a good amount of sleep. By August, I'm feeling better, but I still feel a bit under the weather. I want to engage in some physical activity. For the next 10 days, I will explore every corner of the island. I feel much improved after these adventures. After regaining my strength, I decided to venture out and explore the entire island. On the island, I stumble upon a fascinating new discovery, a valley with a lake nestled in the heart of it. The valley is located in the center of the island. In this location, I discovered some melons. The melons look like large spheres. They are incredibly cute. I also discovered apples, oranges, and lemons in this valley. I'd like to bring some fruit back with me, but I need a large bag, and I don't have one with me. I gather various types of fruit and place them in a single location. Then I headed back to my cave to get a large bag to hold the fruit. I absolutely love the fruit valley. This place is stunning. I'm considering the possibility of relocating here. However, the beach is quite far from this location, and I really want to be near it. I want to find a ship that can rescue me. I decide not to move to the fruit valley. Instead, I've made up my mind to build a small house there. I visit the valley frequently and begin to build the house step by step. The house is small, but I make it very strong. I built a double fence around it, so it's like a little fortress. To get inside, I use a ladder. One corner of the fence has stairs that I use to go outside. So, I take the stairs to go out and the ladder to go in. This takes up all of August and the beginning of September, but I enjoy it a lot. I feel really happy and strong in the fruit valley. The fresh fruit makes me feel fit and healthy. Sometimes I visit the valley at night and look at the beautiful moon and stars. I think about my wife and my family in England. They see the same moon and stars that I do. Even though we're far apart, we're looking at the same sky. I often think about my family and hope they are okay. I also contemplate the lives of all the other individuals who witness the moon. I wonder where they live and what their lives are like. I feel a connection to everyone and everything in the universe. I think about God and ask many questions. I ask, why am I here on this island? Why am I the only one who survived? I don't have the answers, but I trust that God knows what He's doing. It's the time of year when the rainy season begins. The rain lasts until mid-October. This is my first year on the island, so I'm still getting used to it. After the rain stops, I return to my house in the valley. Green leaves cover the fence. There are lots of new plants growing everywhere. This is not just beautiful, it also hides the house making it hard to see. The leaves create shade, making the place even nicer. I think I'll use the same type of wood to build a fence around my new house. When the rainy season ends, I plant some corn in the soil. I feel a bit worried that something might go wrong, so I only use half of the corn. This is a good idea because the corn doesn't grow very tall. I planted the rest of the corn just in time for the next rainy season. The corn grows nicely again. Now I have a little farm on the island. The seasons on the island are different from those in England. Instead of 4 seasons, we have rainy and dry seasons. Now that I know this, I can plan the best time to plant my corn.
Don't forget to like and done in the comment.